And I just thought about something that I would like to share with you all. This is a little story time. I'm going to try to make it quick. As much as this story is near and dear to my heart, there's a reason why I want to tell you about it. I remember when I was younger, right? Unfortunately, I didn't have my dad in my life, but my mother's sister, she was married, and he was amazing with us kids. He used to take us out on him, and it was so amazing, and I loved him so much. And because I loved him so much, before I would go to sleep, I would always think about him. And I'm telling you this just to say, just be careful about, the things you think about, especially when you put so much passion into it. Just be careful. I used to just be like, oh, I love Juju so much. I just before I go to sleep, this is what I would do. I love him so much, and my brother and sister, they dad, I used to say, just saying thank you. That's what I think I'm doing, thanking God for them, and I love them so much. Please don't let anything happen to them. I just love them. I love them. And just going obsessing of how much I love them. Didn't realize, how just you got to be careful about the things that you think about. You got to be careful about things that you say. How they say you negatively, you speak negative will come back to you. All that stuff is true. You have to be careful things that you put out into the universe, because it will come back to you. And God knows I didn't want anything to happen to neither one of them, but it's just that's the way that I was focusing on how I would cry if something happened to them. I would lay there and actually cry like I'm mourning two people that's here, I didn't understand why I did that. I didn't know, Anyway, like I said, I'm shortening this up. Trust me, it's more to this story than this. I don't want to make this long. I just would lay down at night, every night before I go to bed, and just cry. Say how much I love him. I love him. If something happens to him, I would feel this way. If something happens to him, I would feel that way. Please, God, I love him so much. And one day, my uncle had went to preach his brother's, not biological brother, but church brother, service. He had passed away. And things had kind of got weird between me and my uncle, because I got pregnant, and I was a child. As far as he knew, I thought I was a kid. And if he knew that I was pregnant, that means he had to know what I did to get pregnant. And in my head, I didn't want him to know that, So I went out, and so right after the day, I think it was the same day that I brought my daughter home, he came to the house, and he gave her a bath. So he gave her, Uncle gave. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm getting together. So, anyway. Like I said, crazy because wow, it's not supposed to happen. But I love him. I really love my uncle. It's been years. My daughter's anyway. Um, I said I avoided him when I was pregnant. I didn't want him to see me pregnant because, like I said, if he see me pregnant, that means he would know what I did to get pregnant, and I didn't want. I want him to always know me as that innocent girl, you know, that would come with my aunt. She would fix his food. We would go and I eat his food. He have his beers, and I would drink his beer. I remember one time I drank his beer. I drank the whole can. And he laughed. And he called his wife, my mom's sister, tell her what I did. And he just laughed. My uncle was so amazing. That's why I never really felt bad about not having my dad, because there was always that male figure, you know. So there was, you know, just because he's not my dad doesn't mean that male figure wasn't there, you know. My uncle was amazing. So anyway, he went to preach his brother's thing. So me and my friend Heather, we was riding a bike, and we're on the avenue, and we see down the street, we see the ambulance and all this commotion. So Heather like, no, because I never liked to see things like that. I didn't like that. So I said no, you know. I didn't like that, never, because I was always scared. Because I feel whatever happened down there, if somebody hurt somebody, the person that hurt them is still there. So if you go over there, they gonna come back. You know, that's how I just never liked stuff like that. So I was telling her, no, I don't want to go. So we rode back to where we lived at. Another friend of ours. So we riding the bike, and you know we end up riding. Now, as far as I know, Heather could have intentionally did that. I don't know, because I wasn't thinking, you know. So maybe she went through that block because she just wanted to know. But as we riding down that block, I'm looking, and I see my uncle's car. So I'm like, I get off the bike. So I see this lady walking past, because there's nobody, no one's there. And I thought that me and Heather had saw before, and no one was there. So I'm like, I see this lady walk past, and I asked her, what was happening here? Was it this car? This car? She said, I don't know. I wasn't sure. And as I'm looking into his car, I see that he threw up. So as I was standing there, I see my cousin coming. And he had the keys to my uncle's car. And I knew then that wasn't a good thing, because nobody drove my uncle's car. So we rode the bikes. We went back. Got my mom so she could go and support her sister. But long story short, don't mourn for people when they're alive. Don't think about, how it would be if they weren't here. Don't. And they both passed away. So I never, anytime I'm laying down and I start thinking about, I don't know, shake it off real fast, because that's not a good thing. And One time I did that about my mom and shook it off. You got to be careful what you think about. I'm not saying that me thinking like that I caused the death. No, but some way or another, you know, you just got to be careful what you think about. And I just wanted to share that story with y'all because I just want everybody to think about that. Just be careful what you think about. You know, what you, especially what you're passionate about, to the point that you're crying about it and going through this all the time. Just be careful, you know, because that thing that you passionate about and crying is gonna come to pass. So you gotta. It's so crazy because I did not cry at his services. I didn't, you know, because I had already did that. It's sad, you know. So yeah, I just felt to share that with you all. I'm sorry, but like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for listening.